Jen Alexander is the president of our PTA, and about a year and a half ago, we had a kind of a shift in terms of our PTA, and our PTA was primarily focused on fundraising, really looking to raise money to support programs. And we made a shift from fundraising to raising families, and really put fundraising on the back burner and say, to have our children going out and selling gift wrap and cookie dough and that kind of thing, that's not what we wanted to be. We wanted to be a place where we raise families. And the PTA has shifted to doing things like a turn off the TV night or a back to school hot dog roast, those kinds of things that families come together to be a part of the school community. And I think it's been a wonderful transition and a way for families to get involved in a very non-threatening way and understand that this school is their school and we want them involved. Yes?
And I must say that it's working. As an educator from Middletown, I don't go very far without running into former students. And the other day I was at CVS. Former student recognized me and I her, and we had this little chat. And I asked her where her kids were. She told me about her kids. They were at McDonough School. She showed me pictures of them. And she hesitated a little to say where her kids were in school. And then she told me the story about how wonderful the boys were doing, and they were in this class for special gifted kids or one thing or another. She was so excited and so clearly engaged in the fact that her kids were having such success at McDonough School. I was delighted.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I love to hear stories like that. Our school nurse came to me the other day, and she does the vision screening. And the vision screening, there's two ways to get screened with the vision. One is with the letters, like adults, you go A, C, S, that kind of thing. Another way is with pictures, because for students who don't know their letters, we say it's a house, it's a dog, it's that kind of thing. And she told me that she just completed the vision screening, and what she noticed is that she didn't have to use the one with the pictures very much. She used it with kindergarten, but for the upper grades, from what she tells me, for the first time in a very long time, that she never had to go to the pictures. That first graders at McDonough School, they know their letters. And something as subtle as that, where a school nurse who's not directly involved in instruction makes a connection that kids are achieving at higher levels. I think that adds to the excitement at McDonough School and the feeling that we're moving in a successful direction. Yes?
Are you using this kind of instruction just for reading and math, or are you using it for everything all day long?
We focus on reading and math. That's definitely the focus. Science and social studies at McDonough School are much more participatory, where the whole class is involved in instruction together. And we definitely support students with, we might pre-teach vocabulary. If we have some students who are struggling and we're going into an electricity unit, we might pre-teach them those key words that they're going to need to meet with success. But in terms of the actual instruction, it's more a full class.
Okay. And if you only have the extra adult 1 hour per day,
1 hour for reading and 1 hour for math.
So for each class.
Right.
But then that leaves you 4 hours or so without.
Right.
And can you do this kind of instruction without this kind of
Well,
help?
that's a wonderful question. When we think about the school day, typically, let's say 9 to 3:30, that is 6.5 hours. We know about an hour of that is at lunch and recess, and about 45 minutes of that is at a special, either art or music or gym. So once you take art, music, and gym out, and you take the lunch recess portion out, and you think about the key instructional times, an hour for reading and an hour for math is wonderful. We'd love to have more. We'd love to have a second adult in the classroom all day long. But in terms of the resources we have, we really focus on reading and math for that hour. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What's on your wish list?
I mean this sincerely when I tell you that McDonough School is a dream come true. When I think about my colleagues across the state, when I talk to them about McDonough School and the things we have, literally people are envious of all the things we have. And I understand that there are challenges at McDonough School, but truly to have the community partners that we have, to have the support that we get from the Board of Education and the superintendent, I'm happy with what we have. I feel like we have all the things that we need to be very, very successful. So, okay.
The board's going to cut your budget.
Yes.
Would you say that this data-driven instruction is a technique that will lead to continuous improvement, or is it something that will plateau after a time?
I mean, for me, I think it's continuous improvement. I know my teachers could never imagine going back to whole class instruction and not differentiating the instruction based on the needs of the kids. And so the idea that you would ever get a class that's all in the same place is not likely. We're always going to get kids who struggle. We're always going to get kids who have a real good hand on the instruction. And so I sense that we'll just continue to meet the needs of kids and continue to see progress. We are seeing the dividends pay off in the upper grades. I mean, our 5th grade teachers, our 4th grade teachers, they'll say at the beginning of the year, this class is the highest I've ever had. And the reason for that is because they've been involved in data-driven instruction for 2 and 3 years now. So,
Just a follow-up question. Is the growth at all levels, at all 5 levels of the?
we definitely see growth at all 5
At
levels.
all 5 levels,
I mean,
it's not-
we think about those kids on, the CMT is just one measure for us, but we think about those kids at level 1. We've seen that number go from 47% down to 16%, and we've seen the number of kids at level 5 explode. And we have these monthly celebrations, these monthly school celebrations, and we gave out these T-shirts, thanks to Guerrilla Graphics. We gave out these T-shirts that said McDonough School on the front, and like kind of a jersey on the back, they all had a number, and it was the number 5. So every child in the school who scored a 5 got this jersey that said McDonough School with the number 5 on the back, and we really wanted to promote that it's good to be smart, and that's a good thing, and we're proud of you, and we want to encourage that. And we think we have some of our most talented students really striving to be academically a star, as well as a star on the basketball court or a star in the music, that they want to be at that top level. Yes?
What activities, or what, as the school year ends, what happens in the summer at McDonough School?
We have, district-wide, there are some programs in the summer, some academic support programs, and of course in Middletown there's the Oddfellow Circus, and there's various Camp Ingersoll, is that right? Camp Ingersoll, and some different things. So in terms of academic programs, my understanding is more for students who are struggling, and they're not as widespread maybe as they could be. So the opportunity to learn during the summer, I guess I would put that on my wish list, because we definitely see with students that there's a dip in the summer if they're not exposed to math and reading for 2 months at a time. Yes.
Is there any appreciable difference that you see between the students whose parents are able to help them with homework and things like that, and the students whose parents are not able, simply because they don't have the level of education? And if so, is there any way that you try and compensate for
Sure.
that?
It's certainly something we take child by child. I don't know necessarily that we've categorized involved parents versus not involved parents. It's really taking it on a child by child basis. And we are very, very fortunate to have before and after school programs that we call the Scholars Academy. And we noticed that there were some children who were having trouble getting to Scholars Academy or going home from Scholars Academy, so they weren't attending. And our teachers got together and they talked about this idea of getting their school bus driver's license, getting a school bus and going to pick up kids. This is the level of teachers that we have at McDonough School. Well, the bus company said you can't have a bus driver's license, but you can have a license. It's called a student transport license. There was a 10-hour class, and we had a half a dozen teachers go to this 10-hour class, get their student transport certification license, and there's a few district vans, and we've made arrangements to get, our teachers have made arrangements to access those vans to go pick up children at their house or drop them off to attend those kinds of programs. And pretty much, I think the spirit of McDonough is that if there's a challenge, that our teachers get together and say, how can we overcome that challenge? So if it's something like parent involvement or the parent's ability to help with homework, our teachers are looking for ways around that. Yes?
A lot of intervention has obviously been made and successful as they go through the grades. How about as they enter? Because the struggling student starts, I presume, in those first 4 years. Are you seeing a difference in the kindergarten entry readiness?
Right, I got it. Well, we're very fortunate. We have the Middlesex preschool program right in the building. We also have the Family Resource Center that does tremendous outreach to our families prior to entering school. But again, when you think about the McDonough teachers, they got together and talked about what are those things that we could do to help kindergarten children get a head start